Hello everyone, welcome back. So let's talk about Africa. For the longest time, when people in the West talked about Africa, they had this one single story. For the longest time, when people in the West talked about Africa, they had this one single story. Safaris drumming sad news, but that story is old. It's dusty. Like a flip phone in a world of smartphones. The real story is happening right now. Growth Innovation Industry Africa is not just a place with a rich past, it's a continent hurtling towards a powerful future. The question isn't if Africa will rise, it's who will lead the charge. Over 50 countries each with its own vibe and strengths. A couple of names keep popping up. Imagine Africa as a giant startup. Raw materials, talent, a massive untapped market. Alright, let's zoom in on our two main characters, Nigeria and South Africa. Think of them as the two cool, older cousins at the family gathering. They're not the same at all, but they both have that presence. When they talk, the other cousins tend to listen. Nigeria is the giant of West Africa. It's not just big, it's huge. We're talking over 200 million people. Germany, France, United Kingdom. But with better food and way better music. This population isn't just a number, it's a massive market. And a massive workforce. Lagos, its commercial hub, is a city that never sleeps, driven by pure, unfiltered hustle. Then you have South Africa, at the very southern tip of the continent. It's different, it's more structured, it's more developed in many ways. It has the most advanced and diversified economy in Africa. If Nigeria is the explosive startup with a million ideas, South Africa is the more established corporation with the fancy headquarters and the corporate structure. It has world-class infrastructure, ports, roads, financial systems. Its history is painful and complex, but that has also forged a nation that is resilient, and home to some of the continent's most important companies and universities. It has the institutional know-how, so you have these two powerhouses, one in the west, one in the south. They are like the two anchors holding down a massive tent. Nigeria brings demographic might and raw entrepreneurial spirit. South Africa brings industrial capacity, technical expertise, and a sophisticated financial market. They are not just two countries. They are continental leaders. When an economy as big as Nigeria's or South Africa's sneezes, the rest of the continent catches a cold. But it also works the other way. When they grow, they create a powerful pull that lifts others up. This is the ripple effect. Think about it. South African companies are some of the biggest investors in other African countries. ShopRite, MTN, Standard Bank. When MTN decides to expand into Ghana or Uganda, it doesn't just sell SIM cards. It builds cell towers, hires local engineers, creates jobs for sales agents, and pays taxes to the local government. Nigeria has a similar, though slightly different, effect. Its impact is often driven by its people and its massive trading networks. Benin, Togo, Ghana, the informal trade across Nigeria's borders is a massive economy in itself. Access Bank, UBA, providing financial services and credit to businesses in other countries. When a Nigerian factory needs raw materials, it might source them from a neighboring country. So what do these countries actually make? Let's take a look under the hood. South Africa's industrial landscape is incredibly diverse. It's not just about digging stuff out of the ground, although they are very, very good at that. They have a real proper manufacturing sector. The most visible example is the automotive industry. Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Ford. Assembly plants mostly around the Eastern Cape and Gauteng. These factories produce engines and components exported worldwide, creating thousands of skilled jobs. Beyond cars, South Africa has a strong financial services sector. Banks, insurance companies headquartered in Sandton. There's also food and beverage, sophisticated agricultural supply chains, and processing. And let's not forget mining, platinum, manganese, gold. Platinum group metals are used in catalytic converters and fuel cell tech. These industries and tech are a foundation for industrial development. Now let's fly over to Nigeria. The first word that comes to mind is oil. For decades, oil has been the engine of Nigeria's economy, for better and for worse. It has generated immense wealth but has also created challenges. But Nigeria is so much more than oil. Its booming tech scene, Silicon Lagoon in Lagos, is solving real problems. Paystack, Flutterwave, startups attracting huge international investment, making it easier to pay for things online or transfer money, and Nollywood, a massive industry employing over 1 million people and exporting culture. Dangote Refinery aims to make Nigeria self-sufficient in refined petroleum products. An economy is nothing without two things: people to do the work and stuff to work with. Nigeria and South Africa are loaded with both. Let's start with the people, the human capital. Nigeria's population is its superpower. Median age around 18, one of the youngest in the world. Not just a statistic, a demographic tidal wave. Digital natives ambitious, eager for opportunities. South Africa's demographic profile is different. Older population with deep skilled labor. Experienced engineers, technicians, managers, financial professionals. Universities like UCT and WITS produce graduates in science and engineering. Skills and higher education are a critical asset. Youth unemployment is a challenge, but vocational training and apprenticeships can create pathways. Now the stuff to work with, both hit the geological lottery. Nigeria, oil, natural gas, energy to power industries, and revenue to invest if managed well. Vast arable land, tin, coal, potential for petrochemical and food processing value chains. South Africa, a mineral treasure chest. Gold, diamonds, platinum group metals, manganese, chromium, coal. These minerals feed advanced industries like automotive catalytic technology and emerging hydrogen fuel cells. The challenge is to move beyond the resource curse, to add value and create jobs at home. Use resources as a springboard to build diverse, resilient economies that serve their people. The real prize is industrial diversification and skills development. If harnessed well, these advantages can power decades of growth. People, resources, and good policy together create lasting development. Okay, it's not all sunshine and roses. If leading Africa was easy, it would have been done already. Both Nigeria and South Africa are carrying some heavy baggage. Let's call them the elephants in the room. The first and biggest elephant for both is infrastructure, or more accurately, the lack of it. In Nigeria, the power supply is a national running joke that isn't funny. Small barbershops relying on diesel generators, large factories too, expensive, noisy generators keeping lights on and making business costly. The roads can be terrible, ports are famously congested, long queues block imports and exports. You can have the best idea, but if you can't get power or move your product, you're stuck. South Africa's infrastructure is better, but it's crumbling. Eskom has become a symbol of this decay. Rolling blackouts and load shedding. This is devastating for industry. Imagine a 4-hour daily outage. Freight rail decline forces cargo onto strained roads. The second elephant is inequality and unemployment. South Africa has one of the highest inequality rates in the world, a legacy of apartheid. Youth unemployment is over 60% in some groups, a ticking time bomb. Social division creates instability, a serious barrier to progress. In Nigeria, inequality is regional, oil wealth beside deep rural poverty. Millions work in the informal sector without security or benefits. Underemployment is huge. If opportunities aren't created, youth can be drawn into crime or extremism. These social challenges are central to whether these countries will succeed or fail. You can have all the people and resources in the world, but if the government is a mess, nothing works. This brings us to the thorny issue of politics and governance. For both Nigeria and South Africa, this is arguably the biggest hurdle of all. In Nigeria, corruption has been a crippling disease for decades. Money that should be used to build schools, hospitals, and power plants often ends up in private pockets. This steals from the public and destroys trust in institutions. Political instability is another major challenge for Nigeria, a complex tapestry of ethnic and religious groups. Managing this diversity requires skilled and inclusive leadership. Politics often breaks down along these lines, leading to tensions and insecurity, particularly from groups like Boko Haram and banditry in other regions. South Africa's political challenges are different, but just as serious. The ruling party has been plagued by internal divisions and state capture. Corruption became embedded in state-owned enterprises like Eskom and Transnet, hollowing them out. Trust between people and government is severely damaged. The challenge is political will. Does leadership have the courage to make tough decisions? The country can continue down slow decline, or make bold reforms to unleash potential. Recent political shifts may force coalition building and accountability. Without good governance, industrial dreams remain just that, dreams. To lead, both countries need transparent institutions and accountable leadership. Political courage, anti-corruption action, and strong institutions are the foundation for everything else. So, what's the plan? How do these two giants get their act together and lead the continent? It's not about one magic solution, it's about doing a lot of hard things all at once. First and foremost, fix the basics. Declare war on infrastructure problems. Nigeria, massive transparent investment in the power grid. Imagine constant affordable electricity. Factories running 24/7, small businesses flourishing, costs of everything dropping. South Africa, fix Eskom, fix Transnet, bring in private sector expertise and investment, break up monopolies, encourage competition, and make the country work again. Second, invest in people like never before. Transform education for a 21st century economy. Focus on science, technology, engineering, math, and vocational training. Plumbing, welding, electrical work, skills that industry needs. Create real pathways from education into work with apprenticeships linked to industry. Third, embrace Africa. Take AfCFTA seriously. A single market of over 1 billion people. Nigeria and South Africa should lead. Reduce tariffs, harmonize customs procedures, invest in cross-border infrastructure, roads, rail, and ports, build regional value chains and collaborate, not just compete. Finally, tackle corruption and improve governance, require strong ethical leadership, build independent institutions, strengthen anti-corruption agencies, give them power to prosecute, increase transparency in contracts and spending, build a professional civil service. Without trust and rule of law, investors stay away, talent leaves, and citizens lose hope. It's a long, tough fight, but one they must win. So here we are. We've looked at the giants, Nigeria and South Africa. Nigeria, South Africa. We've seen their power, their potential, and the heavy chains holding them back. The idea that they will lead Africa's future isn't just wishful thinking. It's based on a hard reality. No other countries on the continent have their unique combination of size, industrial base, population, and resources. They are the two pillars that are strong enough to support the ambitions of an entire continent. Their success is linked to the fortunes of their neighbors and the continent as a whole. The path forward is not a simple one. It's littered with challenges. Crumbling infrastructure, deep-seated inequality, and the cancer of corruption. These are generational challenges that require political courage and shared purpose. Leadership must look beyond the next election and think about the next generation. Citizens must hold leaders accountable and work together for a more just society. The road will be long and there will be setbacks, but the potential prize is enormous. Ultimately, the story of Nigeria and South Africa is a story of hope. It's the hope in the energy of a young Nigerian tech entrepreneur in Lagos. It's the hope in the skill of a South African engineer designing green technology, industry, innovation, and shared prosperity. These two nations have everything they need to lead this new chapter.